these states. Bow. Yeah. Nowadays, you gotta watch out who you be around. Your best friend will set you up, man, these niggas clowns. Nowadays, you gotta watch out who you be around. Your best friend will set you up, man, these niggas clowns. Bitch made a deal with the Commonwealth. It didn't even really care about her fucking health. How you snitched on a fucking plug, man? And all I did was show love, use a dub, man. A Spencer calls, a Spencer jewelry, man, I had you lit. While you was on back page trying to get a trick. Before I came down this bitch, you was fucking crying. Talking about you lost your job and about to lose your car. Then had the nerves to get mad up in that hotel. Cause I fell asleep in that other bitch pussy, oh well. 6'9", Billy Otto, y'all gon' get them shells. I sold my soul to the devil, I'm gon' burn in hell. Nowadays you gotta watch out who you be around.
We welcome you to Democracy Now! This book is utter.
Yeah, we gotta get it back up, get it started, man. Let's get to it.
Utterly painful. The cover, a photograph of a young Virginia disappearing, fading. If you can start off by talking about this horror that she underwent that is rocking both Britain right now and the United States and the US, it may well be why Congress has not resumed working. And of course, right now you have the situation just before the two of your book was released. Prince Andrew has voluntarily given up his titles because of what's being released in this book. Why don't you start off by talking about how Virginia Giuffre came to work at Mar-a-Lago as an underage young woman, and then ultimately was trafficked by both Maxwell and Epstein.
Yeah, well, she was 16 years old. She was working a summer job at Mar-a-Lago. She was working in the spa, so there was a particular section of the hotel that she worked in. Her father worked at Mar-a-Lago as a maintenance man, and he helped her get the job.
A man who abused her as well.
A man who abused her as well, which she reveals in this book for the first time. And we can talk about that more. But yeah, she was about a couple weeks into the job, and she loved working there. It was a beautiful place. She felt really privileged to be there. And a posh British woman walks in with an amazing outfit and very attractive. I think Virginia writes that her handbag cost more than my dad's truck. There was a class issue here, clearly. And the woman sees her reading an anatomy book and says, "Oh, are you interested in massage?" And Virginia says, "Well, I don't really know much about it, but I'm so inspired by this spa, I would love to learn." And she is asked to then go that day to Epstein's house. She goes because a woman has asked her, and she thinks it's going to be safe. And that very day, hours later, Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein sexually abused her for the first time, and at that point, she was in the net.
And how did she go from Mar-a-Lago to then being close to and in the circle of Epstein?
Well, I think, there were different victims that were treated differently. There were some girls that went one time to the house in Palm Beach and then were never seen again. And then there were other girls who were in the sort of inside circle. And Virginia lived very close by. When she first met him, she lived in Waxahachie, which is a sort of more rural, poorer area. She lived with her parents in a trailer in the back. And he liked her. I think that he and Ghislaine both were very good at sniffing out girls who had already been abused and who were more vulnerable to being manipulated. And so he quickly absorbed her into his world, told her to quit her job at Mar-a-Lago. He rent her an apartment. He didn't want her living with her parents anymore because he wanted her to come and go at all hours. He didn't want her parents to be suspicious. So very quickly she gets pulled in, and then
Oh,
they
this
say,
is all led.
you know, you don't have a passport. We need to get you one of those. And Ghislaine Maxwell helps her fill out the application, and then they take her to London. That's really one of her first major trips. Certainly, she'd never been abroad before. They take her to London, and that's where she's first trafficked to Prince Andrew. She had already been, by that point, trafficked to other friends of Epstein and Maxwell. So it was a pretty quick sort of itinerary on her going into the depths of hell. She quickly becomes one of their people that travels with them all over the world.
Now, in the book, she does not name many of those who she says sexually assaulted her, but you know all of them because you fact-checked them. Is there anything you have to say about that, or is there the reason those names were not disclosed?
Yeah, I think Virginia is pretty eloquent about this in the book, but you know, any survivor of sexual abuse understands that coming forward, you have sort of a cost-reward ratio that you're weighing. You know you want to hold these people accountable for what they did to you, but you also know that's going to come at a cost. Your privacy, obviously, but also in the case of Virginia, some of these men had threatened her. Some of these men had threatened her physically. She'd had death threats that the FBI found credible and called her, and she and her family rented a camper van in Australia where they lived and fled into the wilds of Australia for 3 weeks to try to figure out what to do next. So there were real risks and legal risks. There were people that said to her, basically, it doesn't matter what you say or what's true, we're going to keep you in court for the rest of your life if you don't take our names out of your mouth. So there were a lot of decisions that she had to make about what names were going to go in. There are new names there, but as you say, there are names left out. I guess what I would add to that is that this book was never intended to be a list of names. If you want a list of names, you can go to the Epstein files, and they are there, not just Virginia's names, and I know all of the ones that she told the FBI repeatedly, but other victims have bravely come forward, and this investigation has been going on for many, many years, since the first time that Epstein was arrested and charged back in 2000, I believe, 8. There's a lot of information there. And so to put and this is what my op-ed in the New York Times is about, to put the burden always on victims, the weakest among us who've already been hurt, to make them repeat on demand, instead of having law enforcement do its job. And I think that's why a lot of the American public is calling for the release of the Epstein files.
In the book,
I'm gonna stop it right there. Y'all go check out Democracy Now. Go check out the rest of that interview. Yeah, this shit is this is all, like I said, it's all over YouTube, man. You can't get away from it. So we do our commentary over it. We don't know, we wasn't there. We do not condone none of that type of behavior. But let's get to the content.
From these documents, I actually think one of the most important revelations in these documents hasn't gotten a lot of attention in the United States quite yet, but it is a huge deal overseas. The story centers around this photograph that you can see right there on your screen. A photo that shows Epstein's fellow monster in crime, Ghislaine Maxwell, as well as then Prince Andrew, who has now, of course, been stripped of his title by the British monarchy, but to avoid making things very confusing, I'm just going to keep calling him Prince Andrew. And that girl in the center, with Andrew's hand around her waist, is then 17-year-old Virginia Giuffre, the late Epstein survivor who tragically died by suicide just this past spring. Now, here's what Giuffre alleges happened that day in her posthumous memoir, Nobody's Girl. Giuffre was 17. She was staying with Epstein and Maxwell at Maxwell's home in London, just about 7 months after Maxwell had first recruited her from Mar-a-Lago. Well after Epstein had allegedly started sexually abusing Giuffre. Maxwell woke her up that morning telling her it was going to be a special day, that she was going to meet a prince. And when Prince Andrew arrived at Maxwell's house that evening, Maxwell asked Prince Andrew to guess Giuffre's age. The 41-year-old prince guessed correctly, 17 years old. Now, realizing that her mom would never forgive her if she met someone as famous as Prince Andrew and didn't pose for a picture, Giuffre got her camera, and Epstein snapped the photo. Then they all went to a nightclub. Prince Andrew bought Giuffre a cocktail and danced with her. And on their way back to Maxwell's house, Maxwell told Giuffre when we get home, you are to do for him what you do for Jeffrey. Now, I'm going to spare you the rest of the truly wretched details, but Giuffre says that she and Prince Andrew had sex that night at Epstein and Maxwell's direction. And it was the first of 3 such encounters, which she also details in her book. Now, both Maxwell and Prince Andrew have both vehemently denied any of this ever happened. And a key part of that denial has been asserting that this photo, the infamous photo of them with a 17-year-old Giuffre, is fake.
It's a fake. I don't believe that. I don't believe it's real for a second. In fact, I'm sure it's not. There's never been an original. And further, there's no photograph. And I've only ever seen a photocopy of it. I don't believe it happened. And certainly the way as described would have been impossible.
Just to clarify, sir, you think that photo has been faked?
Nobody can prove whether or not that photograph has been doctored, but I don't recollect that photograph ever being taken.
Now, in addition to just denying the story, both Andrew, Prince Andrew that is, and Maxwell were adamant that, of course, the photo was faked, as you just heard them say. Even just this summer, in Maxwell's interview with Trump's personal lawyer turned deputy U.S. attorney, Todd Blanche, she flat out denied it. When Maxwell was asked about this particular photo that I've been showing you, she said, quote, "I believe it's literally a fake photo." That was just a couple months ago. But now, thanks to the trove of 23,000 documents from the Epstein estate that the House Oversight Committee released yesterday, we have this. On July 1st of 2011, just months after this photo was first published in the British tabloids, Epstein allegedly sent an email in which he said, quote, "Yes, she was on my plane, and yes, she had her picture taken with Andrew." Epstein denied, of course, everything else that took place and seemed to defend the photo by adding that many of his employees had also taken pictures with Prince Andrew. But he, the person, again, who allegedly took the photo, said the photo was real. It should be noted that Epstein himself is not exactly a reliable or trustworthy source, to put it mildly, and MSNBC has not independently confirmed the authenticity of the emails or the allegations in them. And both Maxwell and Andrew vehemently deny anything happened. But Epstein himself, way back in 2011, saying this photo was real in an email, really throws into question everything both Prince Andrew and Ghislaine Maxwell have said about the rest of that story. The fact that just months ago, Maxwell told Todd Blanche that photo was fake now adds all the more reason to be skeptical that anything she told Blanche in that meeting was true. The email is a gigantic story in the British media right now. It is an absolute scandal for understandable reason. And it is a massive piece of potentially vindicating evidence for Virginia Giuffre, who Maxwell, Epstein, and Prince Andrew have all claimed for more than a decade made everything up.
Maxwell now plans to ask Trump for a commutation after receiving weeks of, quote, concierge-style treatment in prison. Congressman Ro Khanna is a Democrat of California. He and Republican member Thomas Massie filed the discharge petition in September. Congressman Khanna joins me now. Congressman, I guess, one of the things I learned during the course of this is that a discharge petition, people can take their names off it before it hits 218. But once it hits 218, it is locked. And I wondered how much jockeying was happening behind the scenes. Is it your expectation that tomorrow Congresswoman Grijalva gets signed in and it gets to 218?
Yes, but it's not done until it's done. And there's a tremendous amount of White House pressure on a couple of the people, in particular, the Republicans who signed the petition. My expectation is it holds. Adelita Grijalva signs it. And then we have a vote 7 days later. December 3rd is when we're targeting for a vote of the full release of the Epstein files.
How central do you think your efforts to force that vote were in the response of Mike Johnson taking this truly unprecedented step of essentially keeping Congress out for 2 months?
Unfortunately, it was the cause of it. I mean, it pains me because people are going without food stamps, people are going without pay. All of that could have been resolved if he had just had Congress in session, because we would have been paying the troops, we would have been extending SNAP. And here's the dispositive fact, Chris. If it wasn't because of Epstein, he could have still shut down Congress and just sworn in Adelita Grijalva. The fact that he didn't swear her in is the reason that he shut this thing down.
I want to ask you about some of this reporting we've seen about Ghislaine Maxwell. And I have to say, read a lot of news stories every day. My blood pressure stays pretty regulated because there's a lot of bad stuff happening. But the reporting about Maxwell made me pretty personally angry. I mean, this is The original sin of the Jeffrey Epstein saga is that he was caught preying on girls and was cut a sweetheart deal that allowed him to keep doing it. The only person now who has been brought to account for those crimes, Ghislaine Maxwell, was taken out of the prison she was in after she gave an interview to the president's personal lawyer. A waiver had to be signed by the Department of Prison to put her in a minimum security prison, and this is what's happening there. Maxwell has received customized meals personally delivered to her cell, after-hours time in a private exercise area, and access to a service puppy. Maxwell was also afforded private meetings with visitors arranged by the warden, complete with snacks. This is Jamie Raskin, your colleague, writing a letter about this to Trump. The deference and servility of Ms. Maxwell have reached such preposterous levels that one of the top officials of the facility has complained he is sick of having to be Maxwell's bitch. What do you make of this report?
Well, it doesn't just get your blood boiling, Chris. You know whose blood it got boiling is the survivors, because I was with them in a press conference in front of the Capitol, and I'll be with them with Thomas Massey in front of the Capitol again next week. And we were saying, look, let's talk about the Epstein file release. Let's talk about all the rich and powerful men who were involved in this abuse. And they would keep bringing up this Maxwell pardon because they said Maxwell was involved in their abuse. And it was an affront to them that someone who sexually abused them was going to get special treatment or a pardon from the president. Anyone who talks to these survivors will be outraged that this is even being considered.
How hard is this White House going to fight this if in fact, 24 hours from now, that discharge petition's signed? How much pressure is going to be brought to bear on that House on that vote?
There's going to be tremendous pressure, and that is because I believe 50 to 60 Republicans could break, and that would be the first day of Donald Trump being a lame duck. Look, this is about our politics. Are we going to be for the forgotten class of Americans or for the Epstein class? And Donald Trump suddenly is going to be part of the swamp protecting the Epstein class, and he's going to have a chunk of the MAGA base with every Democrat saying we're for working class Americans, forgotten Americans. That's why they are so fearful of this vote.
I want to ask you about something you said, I think, earlier today about the end of the shutdown deal. I just interviewed the House Democratic leader, Hakeem Jeffries. I think you said that you think Senator Schumer should be replaced or resign as Senate Democratic leader. Why?
He was unable to protect health care. I mean, we did nothing as premiums are going to skyrocket for 20 million Americans. Look, this is why I ran for Congress, for national health care, Medicare for all. That's what we need to do with a broken system. But at the very least, we can make sure that we have some tax credit extensions so that people's premiums don't spike from $44 a month to $2,600 a month. That is what's going on with real people that I've talked to. It's outrageous.
Do you think there's any hope for the next iteration of this fight? I asked this of Congressman Jeffries. I don't think it had quite sunk into me because the shutdown was going on so long. The CR is going to go through January. I mean, that's going to be here very soon. So it's well, what are we going to do then? What's going to go on then?
Well, I do think that that's another opportunity to make this fight. And that's why I've said let's have some fresh blood and new leadership. Look, Chris, I want a permanent extension of the affordable tax credits. But we could have had at least a one-year extension. Representative Michael Lawler, a Republican, has floated that. Kevin Kiley, a Republican, has floated that. We could have had negotiations on eligibility. I don't think there should be negotiations about eligibility, but I would have been willing to compromise. What I'm not willing to do is say we get nothing. And that 20 million people get shafted. And then they have all these pundits saying, well, we made health care an issue. Really? That's why we're in politics, to make it a talking point? How about actual relief for people whose premiums are going to go up?
Congressman Ro Khanna, thank you so much for your time tonight.
Of course, they want to ignore the obvious, because there's a lot of powerful people that's on this list, in these emails. They want to let out a few emails. A substantial amount of emails, and I'm hearing this a lot more is coming. But are they gonna? Is this really gonna end the president's you know, his presidency, Trump's presidency. I don't know. Y'all let me know. And I see he wants to go and have an investigation now. He wants to investigate everybody that was part of these emails. We got Bill Clinton and probably everybody that visit that island that came to those parties, because you know they know what's in these files. That's why they've been blocking it all this time.
Connections to politics, to the sexual abuse claims, and even direct references to President Donald Trump. We are going to go through the major bombshell highlights from this document dump. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Okay, so before we jump into all this, can you believe that the holidays are here? It's like, weren't we just in summer? Anyway, if you're thinking about gifts, I gotta tell you about Cozy Earth. I wore these the other night. They are amazing. Their bamboo pajama set, it is made with a soft stretch knit that sleeps cool, but it's still cozy for those winter nights. And the bubble cuddle blanket, the textured faux fur, it is plush, it is luxurious. It's the ultimate holiday gift for even the toughest people to shop for. You know who those people are. Well, Cozy Earth also has a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. So you can shop and gift risk-free. And right now, Black Friday has come early at Cozy Earth. You stack my code, LONGCRIME, on top of their site-wide sale for up to 40% off. So wrap the ones you love in luxury with Cozy Earth. It is the story that will not go away, and yesterday it blew wide open. The House Oversight Committee dropped another massive batch of Jeffrey Epstein documents, 20,000 pages worth, from the deceased sex offender and financier's estate. And for the first time, we are seeing Epstein's own words allegedly connecting President Donald Trump directly to his inner circle after that infamous 2008 plea deal that Epstein entered into. Now, but I want to be clear about something, okay? As we go through these communications, Donald Trump has never been officially implicated in any wrongdoing, and he's never been charged with any crime connected to Epstein. Having said that, his name comes up a lot in these documents, and I say, when we go through these communications, let me be clear, we obviously can't go through 20,000 pages of documents, but what we can do.
Why you should never charge your smartphone at night. 22 years as a cell phone repair engineer, and I'm watching.
Is go through some of the major highlights so far, and this massive document dump has a lot. And this came after House Democrats released some very interesting and arguably provocative exchanges, communications. So let's start here. You have one from 2011 from Jeffrey Epstein to Ghislaine Maxwell, his convicted sex trafficker associate, saying, quote, "I want you to realize that that dog that hasn't barked is Trump." And then it's kind of redacted, but victim spent hours at my house with him. He has never once been mentioned. Police chief, etc. I'm 75% there. Maxwell actually writes back, quote, "I have been thinking about that." You have another communication where Epstein tells author Michael Wolff in 2019, quote, "Redacted Mar-a-Lago, redacted." And by the way, this email was apparently sent several months before Epstein died. It continues, quote, "Trump said he asked me to resign. Never a member ever. Of course he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop." And then you have one more from 2015 I want to highlight where Wolff appears to tell Epstein that CNN may be asking Trump about his connection to Epstein. Remember, this was when Trump was announcing that he was going to run for president. To which Epstein asks, quote, "If we were able to craft an answer for him, what do you think it should be?" Wolff responds, "I think you should let him hang himself. If he says he hasn't been on the plane or to the house, then that gives you a valuable PR and political currency. You could hang him in a way that potentially generates a positive benefit for you, or if it really looks like he could win, you could save him, generating a debt. Of course, it is possible that when asked, he'll say, Jeffrey is a great guy and has gotten a raw deal and is a victim of political correctness, which is to be outlawed in a Trump regime." By the way, Wolff responded to this breaking news saying on Instagram, quote, "Perhaps we're getting close to the smoking gun. You know, it's curious that Epstein's relationship with so many people in public life has damaged them considerably, but the one person who he was closest to has not been held accountable. That's Donald Trump. Now remember, all of this is years after Epstein's 2008 plea deal where he avoided federal charges, and Trump had already started to distance himself publicly from him. But these emails suggest that behind the scenes, Epstein, his associates, his circle, they were still talking about him, strategizing around his image, tracking who said what, tracking what his potential presidency may look like. And that is what has sent this story spiraling, because hours after the dump from the House Oversight Committee, Congress started pushing for more. You had congressional members who now want the Justice Department to hand over all of the Epstein-related communications. And that pressure is building. The House is moving to force a vote that would compel the Justice Department to release all of the Epstein files. In fact, Speaker Mike Johnson announced that he will put a bill ordering the release of the Epstein files immediately, saying, we're going to put that on the floor for a full vote when we get back next week. And this is creating a major political firestorm. You have newly sworn-in Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva, who signed the discharge petition, providing the decisive 218th signature that was needed to force that vote on the release of the Epstein files. And in her remarks on the House floor, she said, quote, "Justice cannot wait another day," and also thank the Epstein survivors who were in the gallery watching. So I want to talk about what we are seeing in this document dump, and it's just going to be, I'm going to do it solo. Let's go through it. Now, the new emails, they keep coming, and they go far beyond just Donald Trump. For example, Steve Bannon, okay? Steve Bannon, Trump's former advisor, in a June 2019 email right after a photo was taken of Trump shaking hands with Prince Andrew. Okay, this was during a state visit. We know Prince Andrew. Talk about him a little bit more. Quite a character in all of this. Epstein wrote to somebody who, according to CNN, appears to be Bannon, saying, quote, "Prince Andrew and Trump today. Too funny." And then he added, "Recall Prince Andrew's accuser came out of Mar-a-Lago," seemingly referring to Virginia Roberts Giuffre, who passed away several months ago. Well, Bannon appeared to reply, "Can't believe nobody is making the connective tissue." So this email suggests that Epstein and his inner circle were actively tracking the public connections between these powerful men. And by the way, talking of power in that vein, theoretical physicist Lawrence Krauss messaged Jeffrey Epstein in one communication, quote, "Let's do a Men of the World conference," and attached an invite list that included Bill Clinton, Kevin Spacey, Woody Allen. These are all people, as you know, who faced
crazy, y'all. All face sexual assault, Monica Lewinsky, Woody Allen with the underage. I think that was his I'm gonna say his daughter. There was
sexual misconduct allegations in one form or another. Now, before actually we go back to President Trump, let me actually go to former President Bill Clinton, because his name popped up in these materials too, or seemingly. And to be clear, he too has not officially been implicated in any wrongdoing or charged with a crime in connection with Epstein, but as it is well documented, the two had a relationship. And these communications reveal
he was a
what may have ultimately...
pedophile, sex trafficking pimp. You know, that's what it was like. Freaky ass, off the wall pedo. And rub elbows with powerful people. It's like all the Illuminati ritual stories they tell you, you hear about. It's the biggest pedo known right now. It's like I said, it's all over the news. And Trump is wrapped up in it. Trump's firing back. He's like, "No, we need to investigate everybody that was over there running the island. Y'all gonna try to get me in because he mentioned my name in some emails and shit." What's up? And he's saying that he's not the dog that ain't barking. He's not saying that. Trump ain't snitching, but they snitching in these emails, right? You wanna look at it that way? This is crazy. But what y'all think gonna happen? Think they're gonna try to impeach Trump? And he's been drugged through the courts. I mean, I heard he got like 500 cases against him. I don't know. I don't know what they do. I wouldn't be surprised what happened. Y'all get in the comments, let me know what y'all think. This is a disgusting thing. We don't condone none of that. No pedo, none of that shit. No aging, no raping, none of that abuse to women. Not on my channel. Take that shit over there. We ain't with all that.
It led to their falling out. So, in an email exchange with Catherine Rumler, a former White House counsel to President Barack Obama, You have this communication back in January of 2016, where Epstein writes seemingly about Clinton, quote, "My memory is a friend killer. I stopped talking to Clinton when he swore with wholehearted conviction that he had done something. He had forgotten that he also swore the exact opposite to me only weeks before." By the way, a Clinton spokesperson said in a statement that was published by the New York Post. Who knows what they're talking about? What we do know, and I've always said, is that President Clinton knew nothing about Epstein's heinous crimes and hadn't spoken to him in 20 years. Now here it is in black and white. Going back to President Trump. The emails appear to show Epstein had these sharp, private opinions about Trump and his mental state. For example, in 2018, Epstein wrote in an email, "You might want to tell your Dem friends that treating Trump like a mafia don ignores the fact that he has great dangerous power. Tightening the noose too slowly risks a very bad situation. Not so with this maniac." Called him borderline insane at one point.
Tell them the truth. That nigga's a maniac, come on. They do treat him like the mafia don. He does whatever he wants to do. So I say, what y'all think they're gonna bring down the big volcano?
And said that would be corroborated by some that are close. Then you go to a 2017 email after Trump's.
What happens if my dad starts Tai Chi tomorrow?
How old is your father?
So-called Muslim ban. And Epstein told a New York Times reporter, quote, "Donald is bleeping crazy. I told you that." And in an email to New York Times reporter Thomas Landon Jr. in response to Trump's published reaction to a book by Michael Wolff, Epstein wrote, "No questions, Donald's statement was goofy. Early dementia?" By the way, talking Landon, this I thought was a notable exchange between him and Epstein in February 2016 regarding Trump. Landon writes, "It's getting scary, the stories you could tell." Epstein replies, "Wow." And Landon replies, "Actually, I don't think he/voters would care. Being effectively shameless is a pretty powerful weapon for a presidential candidate." And bad-mouthing continued, with Epstein writing in 2018, "Donald is close to no one. He talks to many people. He tells each one something different." Also in 2018, as Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, was pleading guilty and implicating the president in the hush money scheme, Epstein saw an opportunity. He emailed, again, Catherine Rumler, writing, quote, "You see, I know how dirty Donald is. My guess is that non-lawyers, New York biz people, have no idea what it means to have your fix or flip." So this email suggests that Epstein believed Cohen really had the goods on his former client. And maybe the most bizarre item in this entire document dump, and we have a lot more we want to get to, it's not even an email, it's a video. The files include this video from Epstein's estate that show a dog chewing on and attacking a plush doll that's made to look like Donald Trump. Weird. And there was also this notable exchange, by the way, regarding President Trump when he met Russian President Vladimir Putin in 2018. And this is where Epstein was perhaps saying, look, I get Donald Trump. I understand him. We should talk, okay? So in an email to the former Prime Minister of Norway, Epstein writes, quote, "I think you might suggest to Putin that Lavrov can get insight on talking to me." And this is seemingly referring to Sergei Lavrov, Russia's foreign minister. And talking Russia and Trump, by the way, Epstein had this back and forth with Larry Summers. This is a former Clinton and Obama administration official.
I think he was whacked because of that Israel thing. I don't believe he killed himself. What y'all think?
Summers writing, "Did the Russians have stuff on Trump? Today was appalling even by his standards." To which Epstein writes back, "My email is full with similar comments. Wow. I'm sure his view is that it went super well. He thinks he has charmed his adversary. Admittedly, he has no idea of the symbolism. He has no idea of most things." And Epstein also wrote to Summers after Trump's inauguration saying, "Recall I've told you, I have met some very bad people. None as bad as Trump. Not one decent cell in his body. So yes, dangerous." And when approached for comment, by the way, by the New York Times on Wednesday, Larry Summers directed the New York Times to pass comments where he had said that he had regretted his past associations with Jeffrey Epstein. Then we move on. There is a 2018 exchange, this is over iMessage, where the name of the sender is redacted. And this person says to Epstein, quote, "It will all blow over. They're really just trying to take down Trump and doing whatever they can to do that." And while the context of that message is not clear, Epstein responds, "Yes, thanks, it's wild, because I am the one able to take him down." We don't know what that means. I'm sure people will run with that, make whatever conclusions or assumptions they want. To be also clear, these are private communications, so there is a question of credibility. What was Epstein saying to people? Was he being honest? Was he just saying what he wanted to say? Was he saying what he thought other people wanted to say? Not exactly sure, but just...
So it seemed like he was trying to blackmail people. Trump, like, either he was talking to like you say, Ghislaine Maxwell, and, and he has a conversation with Michael Wolff. He's even spoke about as far as being involved with this Israel government and all this other shit that's been popping up. Maybe Jeffrey, let's just say, let's see. He knew some of the powerful people. He knew one of them got him. That's what it looked like. That's what it's looking like. Israel spies stay in Jeffrey Epstein's NY apartment. We'll go check out TVT.
Officer happened to stay at Jeffrey Epstein's Manhattan apartment on at least 3 separate occasions, and that's according to a new report from DropSite News. Now, Epstein may have even wired money to him, once again raising questions about Epstein's alleged ties to Israeli intelligence networks. Alleged. Now, DropSite compiled some of the evidence for this story from former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak's hacked emails. So we have that. Super interesting. In addition,
woo, nigga be turned up. What you mean? What you mean inflation? Man, inflation is good. Take another whiff. Gas prices are coming down. Why y'all keep talking about this Epstein creep? Fuck him.
to Epstein's personal schedules, which were in fact released by the House Oversight Committee just last month. Now, the intelligence officer that we're referring to here, that was reported by the DropSite News story, is a man by the name of Yoni Koren. Yoni Koren, Israeli military intelligence officer who stayed at Epstein's Manhattan apartment on at least 3 separate occasions. And here's what we know about him.
The thing is too, is a lot of these dudes they so rich, they so powerful to the point where all their deep dark secrets, fetishes comes out. I wouldn't be surprised if Trump in the dark hotels or whatever, he's dressed up like a maid or whatever, you know, and they doing the whole wiffle ball shuffle with his ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, these rituals they involved in, these Illuminati shit, all that shit you done heard about for years, and all this stuff is coming out cracked. It's guys like Epstein, where they have a lot of these perverts, rapists, pedos, and they got big pocketbooks, and they willing to do whatever to keep that under the wraps. If it's to get you out of here, we're gonna get you out of here. And that's what it sounds like, you know, to me.
He started his career in the research division of the IDF's military intelligence directorate, which is called Amman.
He's definitely
and he eventually rose through the ranks.
Definitely a distraction, but it's not the distraction. It ain't it's like right now with YouTube technology. To me, and you got a lot of younger base. They're cracking open to this stuff. They're tired of the old guard. So they have people that's even in the MAGA that want to know. They want the files released. They want all the files released. So it ain't just the Democrats or the liberals. It's, you know, some of the Republicans as well. So, but I'm asking the question: do y'all think this is going to damage him to the point? It's never going to go away. It's just like the Monica Lewinsky type shit. This is just update, more sicker version, because she was 18. This guy is friends with somebody that was dealing with younger age females, and possibly it's we're gonna get into that, where Michael Wolff speaks on it's a picture of Trump sitting there, girls on his lap, they pointing at his crotch, It's white stains there. You know, use your imagination. I'm like, is that going to be released and all this type of shit? Is it all, you know, is audio attached to this type of shit, you know? And do you have a criminal case that you can come against Trump? Well, you know, knowing that, okay, Trump is a guy that likes underage females, all this stuff that he done said over time start creeping back up to hunt him.
To become a senior officer. Now, in 1985, Corin worked on a covert campaign with Mossad to help Syrian intelligence kidnap PLO operatives traveling from Cyprus to Lebanon. And he also worked very closely with...
I mean, you stupid. Come on, man. The rappers back in the day was hanging with Trump. And Trump is like a chameleon to me. At least at that time, the rappers want to feel, you know, they want to feel important, title, whoop-de-whoop. They got this rich millionaire, real estate at the time. We talking Trump Towers. They're like, yeah, he built Taj Mahal, which bankrupt most of his businesses. But at that time, the rappers was making songs about him. You know, but all he's flying off the islands and going to Manhattan apartments and doing the God knows with underage. But this is in this type of business. Entertainment is filled with that. So what? Politics? It's right there. They're early in the live before I had to they shut it down. I had to start it up again. Where these modeling agencies, they get them as young as 16. So imagine all the girls that were lying about their age just to be a part of these agencies.
Israel's former Prime Minister Ehud Barak. He did so for years while serving as his chief of staff. While serving as the chief of staff for the IDF, managing his schedules and his operations. Now, Barak's friendship with Epstein has been well documented.
He gonna try to threaten to bomb somebody or whatever. Say trying to go at what is it, Nigeria? He want to bomb Nigeria, Venezuela. He going after Venezuela.
You know, we actually have images of him entering Epstein's apartment. So we've known about that already, but he did, so that's well documented.
Y'all go check out TBT, man. Let's get to this shit.
So when he took office, one of the very first things they did at the DOJ was kill that case. It was being prosecuted and managed by Maureen Comey, the daughter of Jim Comey.
Maureen Comey, daughter of former FBI Director James Comey, has just been fired from her job as federal prosecutor in Manhattan, a position she's held for nearly a decade. Maureen Comey is known for prosecuting someone you might have heard of, that guy, Jeffrey Epstein, and someone else that you might have heard of, Ghislaine Maxwell, seen here with Jeffrey Epstein. According to NBC News, one source familiar with her termination said the reason given was Article 2 of the Constitution, which outlines the president's powers in the Constitution, including his ability to appoint federal officials.
She is somebody who is really beloved in the Southern District.
Hey, salute to you, bro. Salute to Lou from the Lou. Man, salute from Lou from the Lou. Trump's always knew we were the chosen ones. He just needed to cross all the way over to the win the people over, right? Trump's family a plan. I mean, yeah. I look at this whole thing and I said to myself, this ain't nothing but a money grab. This ain't nothing but a money grab. Y'all, they let an idiot, somebody who's an idiot savant, go into the White House twice. He fucked up when the pandemic and they voted him back again so he could complete his mission. and he rocked them so to sleep to the point where they like, yeah, we need him again, like a dope fiend. They needed him again, and then he rocking them to sleep while he robbing the country. His family done raked in billions of dollars through the crypto, all these fraudulent companies. I mean, for all my street guys, all my folks out there in the street hustling, you know, he's a hustler, right? He's like the heist of the century. Right, like the Rothschild. Man, you know what's up. You know what's up. Yeah, stop playing. Man, we gotta be smarter than that. Because if America's a corporation, and you got United States, and you got USA, and all these corporations, and this man is just a crook. America say, hey, he's a businessman. But they're like, well, he failed at this business. He failed at all these businesses. How you build up the Taj Mahal and you bankrupt the Taj Mahal? You know what I'm saying? How you get the casino and you bankrupt casino? Just bankrupt the Taj Mahal. Look, the same pattern that he was doing now, he was doing back then. So all the people whining, oh, he's doing this to us. I didn't vote for that. No, you voted for it.
of New York. She's been a supervisor of the violent and organized crime units where I worked with her, as well as the public corruption units. She has prosecuted many high-profile cases. She is truly a prosecutor's prosecutor, somebody that people look up to, and this has to not just hit me hard, but all of the people who worked with her and know how great a prosecutor she is, it has to hit them hard as well. I mean, we're truly in the idiocracy right now, because if you care about prosecuting sex trafficking cases, which is what a number of these individuals say they care about, and that's why they're so obsessed with Jeffrey Epstein and holding his co-conspirators to account. That's exactly what Maureen Comey did. She was the lead prosecutor who held his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell to account. She is serving a prison sentence of 20 years. She was convicted at trial of 5 sex trafficking counts.
Article 2 of the Constitution does not allow the president to unilaterally get rid of the entire concept of the civil service. Like, the civil service exists for a reason. It was brought about by both a combination of statutes passed by Congress and signed by presidents, as well as findings by the Supreme Court.
Yeah, y'all can go check that out. Check that out. Let's get to this, man. This
don't see how he can do the following when he does it, but I don't see how he can.
Interviewed Jeffrey Epstein, breaking his silence. Breaks his silence after the bombshell Epstein emails release.
Pardon Ghislaine now. That would seem a monumental bridge too far. But then that also puts him in the difficult position that if he has, as I believe, made a deal with Ghislaine, and if he breaks that deal, and I think Ghislaine and her family are in the position to leak a lot of stuff and point their finger in a lot of rich directions, that's a problem for him. So I think on both sides, this is a problem. Can't pardon her, can't not pardon her.
Exactly. I take that risk. They certainly can't prosecute her for perjury in that.
Yo, I appreciate y'all for pulling
position.
up, bro. I appreciate you, bro, because I ain't got no dumbass people, man. Like, I ain't tripping off my numbers. I know the numbers gonna get back up and shit. But it's good to have people who got some sense and shit, 99% of these leaders are into the human, drug, and gun trafficking. It's facts. Because America's just a big scam. It's a big money grab. If you can make it all the way into politics, and you get you around your constituents, you buy your way in, however you get your way in there, it's about a money grab. And what team you on, what drug block you fucking with, what drug crew you fucking with, and how you gonna get them ends. If you check out all their salaries, they make all of them. These niggas ain't wanting for shit. That's why they don't give a fuck about your health care or none of that type of shit. They don't care about your mama, your aunt, your granny. They don't give a fuck about none of it. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck about their own people. Their own people that vote for them, that look like them, they do not give a fuck about it. So niggas gotta stop crying for handouts. Get your own shit. Get your own shit going.
No, because I'm sure they can't, because I'm sure they wrote the script for her.
Right. Yeah. So, you know, what you wrote to Jeffrey in one of the emails about Trump lying has proven to be
the old wrong
constant
term.
truth.
This is nothing new. It's like the old wrong.
Trump, as far as I can find, made his first statement about his relationship with Epstein after his suicide, and replied about him, "I had no idea." That's the quote. And he's denied it ever since.
Right, and that, of course, there's a quote, and I believe it's about 2003, 3, 4, somewhere in there, where he spells out exactly the idea he had, and with some jocularity.
Right. Yeah. Yesterday, after the emails came out, including yours with Epstein, he tweeted, and I'm quoting, "The Democrats are trying to bring up the Jeffrey Epstein hoax again because they'll do anything at all to deflect on how badly they've done on the shutdown and so many other subjects. Only a very bad or stupid Republican would fall into that trap." So he continues his cover-up of his relationship.
Right, and remember, Trump, a man of simple language, hoax is always a giveaway that it is.
It's not a hoax.
Yes, exactly.
Right. There's a misleading Washington Post headline that I don't want to escape that appears this morning. It said Epstein wrote that Trump knew of sexual abuse but didn't participate. They're talking about the massage.
He didn't get the massage.
Yeah, but
that means he did nothing.
Trump certainly participated.
Well, the
in
Washington
a lot
Post, and the Washington, this is one of those interesting things that we know and can now chart. The Washington Post will go out of its way to bend over backwards to give a tip of the hat to Donald Trump, that this is a Jeff Bezos thing. This is transparent. I mean, and also, again, part of that traditional media. I mean, I thought the New York Times's coverage of this, including its coverage of me, was very skeptical about all of this, not taking this very seriously in any way.
Yeah, it's as if it's just too icky, it's just too low, just too loose. They don't want to go near it. It's like it's as if by touching the story that they are degraded by it.
Exactly.
And it's
I remember. Yeah, no, I remember when I did an interview with David Remnick, the editor of the New Yorkers, a couple of months ago, and it was and he could barely touch it. Why should we be interested in this? Why should we lower ourselves to this, to the muck of this story?
You ever hold something that instantly calms your whole body down? This weird little tool, it's helped me focus more than any app.
Yeah, so this is the last piece of content we're gonna play. They've been trying to attack my channel, bro. They I guess they sent me a warning or whatever. You see that bullshit? You see how they try to get at a nigga, man? Some bullshit, right? Long as we talk about that ignorant nigga shit, they like, So I mean, that was Michael Wolff speaking on it. He had did an interview with Epstein. You can see him. He's in the email. So Epstein was emailing him about using, as far as Trump on his political run, and using certain information that they have as leverage against Trump.
Yeah, but it's a very important story, and it's you have said we're close to the smoking gun now. What do you mean?
Well, I mean, here is Epstein directly talking about the relationship of to what Donald Trump knows when he would have known it, and which, you know, pretty clearly comes to the almost to the moment of implicating Donald Trump in Jeffrey Epstein's crimes.
Yeah, you are suing Melania Trump.
I am, and that comes, you know, this is part of the cover-up that Melania Trump has gone around and threatened anybody who discusses her involvement and her husband's involvement with Donald Trump. So she threatened me, but I've sued her before she could sue me, or instead of her suing me. So we will play that out, and it is another avenue toward figuring out actually what happened here. What were the nature of these relationships?
Yeah,
and the Trumps.
Said the Black Book is under the, quote, direct control of the director of the FBI. In December 2023, you said, let us know who the pedophiles are. Even for a short time after becoming FBI director, in February of 2025, you tweeted, quote, there will be no cover-ups, no missing documents, no stone left unturned. In June, you told Joe Rogan, quote, we've reviewed all the information, we're going to give you every single thing we have and can. But then suddenly in July, everything changed. You and Attorney General Pam Bondi released one video and said that there was nothing more to see. Your July memo says you uncovered more than 300 gigabytes of data and physical evidence, but that you had decided no further disclosure would be appropriate or warranted. That is a quote. I think what happened, Mr. Patel, is that suddenly you discovered that Donald Trump's name was all over these files, and you started a giant cover-up. So you are under oath, Mr. Patel. You just testified to Mr. Swalwell that you did not speak to the president about the Epstein files. To your knowledge, did Attorney General Pam Bondi speak to the president about what was in the Epstein files?
I can't speak for Attorney General Pam Bondi.
So to your knowledge, you don't have any information. The question was, do you have any knowledge? Do you have any knowledge?
I can't speak.
You are refusing to answer the question, so let me tell you that the Wall Street Journal reported that in May, Bondi told Trump that he was in the Epstein files, and at the same meeting said that the DOJ did not plan to release the files. Yesterday, you testified to Senator Kennedy that there was, quote, no credible information that Epstein trafficked girls to anyone else, and that you have, quote, continuously and publicly asked the public to come forward with more information, and we'll look into it. Today, in response to Mr. Massey's question, you appear to say that the survivors were not credible. These are survivors.
That's not at all what I said.
Okay, great. I'm going to ask you this in a second, but let me tell you about the survivors, and let's bring them up here into the room. These are women who came to the Hill and testified that they were groomed and raped at the age of 14 and 16 years old, and they called to meet with the president and to meet with the FBI and to have people investigate their claims. Some of them have never testified before. If you are so interested in getting the public to submit any information, why have you not met with them? You said you haven't met with them. Have you met with them? I'll give you one more chance.
My job as the FBI director is to invite
Is the
all
answer yes or no
leads.
to whether or not you met with these women who were sexually abused and raped?
Any insinuation by you or any
What
people
is
on
the
your
answer?
side that I am not manhunting child predators and sex traffickers, just look at the
Mr.
stats.
Patel,
And you talk
Mr.
about
Chairman,
cover-ups, man.
Mr. Chairman,
you
this
talk
is
about
my time,
cover-ups.
and I will take as much time as I
Where were
want.
you during the
Instruct
Obama
the
and
witness,
Biden
Mr.
administrations
Chairman.
when these so-called
Instruct the
cover-ups were
witness.
going on?
Mr.
Why did
Chairman.
anyone in those administrations talk to any of these
Mr.
purported
Chairman.
witnesses?
Let's
I have
get some regular order, Mr.
every
Chairman.
You see that? Hey, we're gonna get up out of here, man. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Shout out to Spotty Face, man, and Political Street Views. He told that boy, baby, what is it, DC Baby Draco, man, you're not welcome in LA, man. Don't come down here with that shit. Sparking a lot of shit in the neighborhood. Tell him go back up to the Bay with that shit.
Take 10 steps forward, you pushing us 100 steps back, bro. It ain't cool, homie. I'm not telling you not to make a living, but what I'm telling you not to do it out here.
What's the wire with the politicers? The gig is up for DC Baby Draco. Nah, I ain't talking about them PDF charges that they bring up twice a year. Moneybag Rose and Spuddy Face said flag on the plane. 15-yard penalty. He no longer welcome me either one of their communities. Oh, neighborhood. He ain't doing nothing but enticing the violence and all the nonsense amongst our people. And he not even from the land. He got ran out his own city for that Brits video. For the out-of-towners that may not know, Briss was an upcoming rapper from Northern California. He was chased down and unalawed. I guess DC Baby Draco took it upon himself to go get the footage, or if it fell in his lap, however he got it. It rubbed folks the wrong way. They got to tapping in like, hey, snatch that down. He said the video was going so crazy, all he was thinking about was the money. It seemed like that same bug bit him again. He started feeling himself once he got them 4 extra clips.
Man,
he was like, yeah,
go
Al,
live
how you
around
like
this
that?
time.
Like all the other
All the
media
homies
outlets,
pulling up.
nobody was trying to pay
Yeah,
4 extra that
Barbie,
50
yeah.
bands. It just sounded outlandish to them. So I guess DC Baby Draco and 4 extra works something out on the back end. This man looking like a real marathon runner. He done got ran out of Northern California.
appreciate
Then
you,
he get
man.
ran out the city. Next
don't
stop, he
crash,
think it's
my
Dago.
nigga. Good.
No, Dago gonna follow suit too, I'm sure. He finna be in Arizona doing a documentary on the Cactus Boys, or the nearest bike club. He thought he did something after that little back and forth with Suspect. That wasn't shit. Almighty ain't no muscle. That little punk ass yelling match they had. PC Baby Draco got a weird case. Why is he around? Supposedly the way he got them charges dropped was he coerced the underage girl into not going to court. They posted the screenshots of the text messages. Once it got sticky up north, him and his camera wiggled through the land. Almost every week he was in somebody's section. He had a clip or two going viral. Some trophies either went to jail or got knocked down after his blogs. Some of the locs speaking on it now, and they over DC and his antics. They gave him a fair warning to leave, like go home, Roger. If he resists or say anything wrong, his camera and his ego gonna get punished. I seen the Sergeant Hood say they back in DC.
Back up to the
We'll see
bay,
how.
homie. They said they ran him out the bay. I don't know about his charges, man. I heard he had some PDF charges. I don't know. I ain't looking to his paperwork. I don't care about that shit. I don't know this man, but he does content. I know I seen a video where he had the Damus and they was dissing, dissing the Crips, Keyways and these are young dudes, so WACC'KIESHA and a few other members from other sections is not feeling that shit, my nigga, because like he said, we already got a bad look on us, and that's not all that goes on in the neighborhood. There's some good people in the neighborhoods, people trying to change the outlook on their neighborhood. It's not easy, but at least there's people that's trying and shit, and people that's just trying to make a buck off of these people out in these neighborhoods suffering and shit and what they going through. We can't continue. We gotta not just get at the people, because we always talking about the culture vultures and all that, but we gotta start at home too. Get at our people and get at the palm colored people. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get at them too. Cause y'all know this media is so independent now. Everybody don't even watch TV nowadays.
That play out for parties though. The neighborhood is setting its tone. Like, get up out of here, homie. Take that back up north. You pushing peace over here.
What's so fabulous about these is that they're clear on the top, and then they
DC Baby Draco. Bro, you keeping up the shit in my city, bro. Take that shit back to Oakland, nigga. Take that shit back up north, nigga. You got out here putting their life on the line for peace in the city, nigga. Peace in the community, nigga.
That's a fact.
I'm tired of you, homie. You going from hood to hood doing this bull. Nigga, you can't even go back to Oakland, nigga. You banned from your own city, my nigga. My G homies, nigga, they put some shit together, nigga. A peace treaty out here, nigga. And you up, nigga. No clicks, likes, and views and hood blogs. That shit, nigga. You ain't out here pushing peace with the out here folk, nigga. Straight up, niggas ain't feeling you out here in LA, nigga.
Salute to Moneybag Rose, man. That's a fact, huh?
Everything that G homies got going on as far as peace in the community, nigga. Is you stupid? Ain't nobody got on your ass, nigga. Moneybag Rose on your ass, nigga. Believe that. No clicks, likes, and views, nigga. Give a no hood blog, nigga. Respectfully, go back to Oakland.
DC Baby Draco. The gig is up, homie. You are no longer allowed in the Crenshaw district, especially right here on Vernon Avenue. And had I been out the first time, you would have never been allowed over here in the first place. As long as you continue to benefit, promote, and further the genocide amongst our people, I don't fuck with you, homie. I don't fuck with your content. I don't fuck with nothing about you. Instead of using your platform as an outlet to shine light on the good that black people do or try to change the narrative of the things that we need out our community, you glorify it, you promote it. And not only that, you trap these young kids into moments, bad decisions in their life that they could never unlive. What you're doing right now is wrong. What you're doing right now, you're starting fires, homie, that you could never put out. And you're not even from this community. You're not even from Southern California, bro. And people keep allowing you inside their communities to start more war, to start more hate, to push more hate against our own people. You got people like me and other street advocates and other community activists that's out here putting in countless hours, bro. Countless hours trying to talk to these kids, trying to do community work that's doing good work out here, bro, and you killing it. You killing 20 years worth of work in one video. Every time we take 10 steps forward, you pushing us 100 steps back, bro.
Hey, shout out to Moneybag Rose and Spotty Faye. You see behind me Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. If you for violence or not, if you for peace or violence, they still want to get us out of here. They want to eliminate us, and you know, they got us back then. They've been doing it, but we still coming. We ain't giving up. We keep going forward. We're resilient. We as black people are too strong, and we're great when we find the ways to work with each other. But it's always a nigga. It's always that nigga that wanna fuck it up. You know? Gotta watch them motherfuckers. But yeah, man, y'all stay safe out there, man. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend, man. We're gonna get up out of here, man. Peace. Keep your notifications on, man. We gonna go into hybrid humans. Brother Push gonna pull up, so y'all pull up with the big caps on, man. Tap in for the Savage, man.
Wonder why people showing fake love, but they hate real. Depression making me take pills. My aunt want me quiet about the shelter when we ate there. That's like telling the kid to stay still. I couldn't do it. Gotta let pain out. I put it in music. That's the only thing that help other than drugs I'm abusing. All I'm focused on myself, so my health I was about to lose it a few times, but niggas never aim when they shoot it. Could've died, but they blew it. If you gon' do it, nigga, do it. Now 2 more niggas got set cause they held back when they do it. Niggas gangsters from computers, I ain't into that. Niggas telling me they try to shoot you, I ain't digging that. No matter what you do after, nigga, you still a rat. I can see you in the hole like a mole. You gon' still get wet. The police took my nigga back. My friend, my brother, my slime. Told him stick to the script, something different was on his mind. And I know that sometimes loyalty can make you blind, but you had the hood, you had no good reason to rob. I ain't getting it. Got rid of them whenever them bricks was that stupidity and greed. Got you tied up in the shit you in. Typing in a pen again. Fighting in a pen again. Writing with a pen again. My man thought I killed his brother, he stopped fucking with me. And I can't keep moving around like it ain't nothing to me. We used to steal cars together, he used to hustle with me. Eating syrup sandwiches, he was struggling with me. But now ain't nothing to me. Fuck it, and I can live with that. I just gotta rap about it. Know he wanna get me back even though I ain't do shit.
Sure, man.
Let that sink in. People showing fake love, but they hate real.
Big nutter.
Pressure making me take them out when we quiet. About the shelter when we ate there. That's like telling the kid to stay still. I couldn't do it. couldn't do it. I done really went through it. I couldn't do it. I'd rather put it in music.
Today, I wanted to just really hit on something. Successfully dealing with pain. I think you hear many stories and every story I just sat in the back.
FirstFamRadio.com. FirstFamRadio.com.